When an aging painter received a commission to paint one of the largest paintings in history, he did whatever he could to complete it. Unlike many other artists, money was never a motive for Tintoretto, the nickname of a 16th century Venetian painter named Jacopo Robusti. As you'll discover, he had another motive, and not just with this painting titled Il Paradiso, but throughout his career. When he picked up his brushes in his early 70s, he embarked on a journey to paint a work that covers nearly 200 square meters, or 2,150 square feet. There's a reason why he was also nicknamed Il Furioso, as it related to his highly energetic style of painting. In this video, you'll discover everything you need to know about Tintoretto and one of the final paintings he worked on in his life. Tintoretto was born in Venice in the year 1518, and although it was sometime in either September or October, we don't know the exact date. He was the son of a dyer, a profession known as tintore in Italian. This means that his nickname means little dyer, a reference to his father's work. We don't know much about his youth or his training, except that he might have briefly worked in the studio of Titian. His first biographers claimed during the 17th century that both men simply didn't get along, and they remained bitter rivals throughout their careers. What's fascinating, however, is that Tintoretto continuously admired Titian for the rest of his life. Titian, on the other hand, often referred to Tintoretto as an inferior painter who always rushed his paintings. Regardless, both painters are considered to be, together with Paolo Veronese, part of the three great 16th century Venetian painters. Rushing paintings wasn't something Tintoretto meant to do, it was simply the style in which he painted. His talent was slightly less than that of his rivals Titian and Veronese, but he compensated this by his work ethic and passion. It has been stated that he often worked without asking for any payment during the 1540s, and continued to complete paintings for free throughout his career. When I first came across this story, I assumed it was merely a marketing trick to earn commissions. While this was certainly partially true, he also had another purpose when it came to his greedless behavior, as you'll soon discover. In 1548, at the age of 30, he earned his most prestigious commission until that point, a work titled The Miracle of the Slave. It was commissioned for the Scuola Grande di San Marco, a building that served as a 16th century charity organization at the time. Miracle of the Slave became the first of three major paintings he completed to decorate this building. Although he got some negative comments related to his rather unpolished finishing, it was a major success and it officially launched his career in Venice. Just at that time, Paolo Veronese, originally from Verona, arrived in Venice and stayed there throughout his career. Tintoretto had to use a similar trick once again to earn commissions, and he completed two monumental paintings in record time for the Madonna del Orto church. The Worship of the Golden Calf and the Last Judgment painting stand nearly 15 meters, or about 50 feet tall, and Tintoretto didn't earn anything to complete them. His reputation of being able to complete massive paintings at a low cost at an unprecedented pace assured that he never ran out of customers again. He made it to the highest levels of Venetian society and even painted the Duke himself in 1559, highlighting his skill as a portraitist. A lot can be said about Tintoretto's work ethic and the speed at which he completed paintings, but I think it's clear that he wasn't as talented as his colleagues Titian and Veronese. He was, however, a mannerist painter who often exaggerated the ideals that were established during the Renaissance. In that light, his painting style was unique and can be easily distinguished from his colleagues, something that is harder to do when you look at his rivals' works. Just look at his version of The Last Supper, for example, which looks strikingly different than the best-known version of Leonardo da Vinci. He started working on his version of The Last Supper around the time that the final touches of his monumental Il Paradiso were being laid. First of all, he was already well into his 70s at the time, and most of the grinding was being done by his son Domenico and his assistants. Apparently, he had a hard time climbing up and down the scaffold to reach the upper sections of this immense work of art. Luckily, his son was talented as well and successfully stepped into his father's footsteps. He helped him a lot during the final years of his life, although his father's nickname Il Furioso definitely still applied. The biggest opportunity for Tintoretto came when part of the Doge's palace burned down in 1577. Not only did it destroy the chamber that hosted the Great Council of Venice, it also destroyed the 14th century fresco that decorated it. Unlike Il Paradiso, which depicts an enormous scene of hundreds of people being welcomed to paradise, this Gothic work depicted the coronation of the Virgin. The hall was quickly rebuilt, and the Duke himself, along with countless wealthy aristocrats, conceived new paintings to decorate the walls. The most prestigious commission was to decorate the wall behind where the leading figures, including the Duke, used to sit during council meetings. It was to become the largest painting in history at the time, and remarkably, it remains one of the largest canvas paintings in the world today. All the leading artists in Venice submitted their sketches, and Tintoretto didn't waste any time doing so either. Despite producing two enormous sketches, Tintoretto wasn't chosen to complete Il Paradiso. Like many times before, it was the more polished version of Paolo Veronese that was chosen. Unfortunately for him, Veronese died when he started working on this immense task, and Tintoretto was allowed to complete the painting. He didn't stick to any of his two original sketches and painted a completely different composition, highlighting the central part. This was important because apart from the obvious religious subject matter, it was also meant to highlight the power of the Venetian government. As you can see, light radiates from around where the Doge used to sit during meetings. The immense canvas depicts about 500 figures in total, many of whom are biblical saints, surrounded by a vast number of unearthly beings. It's an incredible sight to behold, and our eyes are led towards the central scene, which makes a reference to the previous fresco in this location. Although Tintoretto chose to make Christ the dominant figure, he also painted the Archangel Gabriel, who presents a lily to Mary. On the other side, another angel presents a weighing scale, which turns this entire scene into a Last Judgment painting. This means it also sent a message to the members of the Great Council present in the room. One of the religious figures is Justina, the patron saint of Padua, who is commemorated on October 7. This was the day that the Battle of Lepanto took place, a major naval conflict between Catholic states and the Ottoman Empire in 1571. This massive event was still fresh in the minds of everybody in Venice when Tintoretto started working on this painting. Because of the frequent meetings of the Great Council of Venice, Tintoretto and his assistants didn't have the opportunity to paint it in this room. We do know where it was painted though, which was the Scuola Vecchia della Misericordia, a building that served as one of the city's charities at the time. Il Paradiso was painted in several parts in the building's main hall and was moved to the Great Council chamber when it was almost completed. As you surely expected, the sheer size of this immense painting means that it still hangs in its original location today. To conclude this video, I want to mention a fascinating anecdote that sheds some more light on Tintoretto's true motives as an artist. Although he already labored many hours, he didn't set a specific price for his work when he received the commission. The council eventually paid him a lot of money, but it has been said that he refused part of it because he thought it was too much. This highlights that he was one of the least greedy artists in history, and why it's likely that he often painted for free because of another motive. To me, it indicates that the main aim of his art was to serve a higher purpose, and Il Paradiso was the ultimate expression of that.